Good evening and welcome to the Lagos studios of IATV. I am Adegboyega Labiran with the news. Nigerians from across the world today took to the social media to sympathize with the abducted Dapchi schoolgirl Leah Sharibu, whose 16th birthday is today. Sharibu has continued captivity in the hands of Boko Haram insurgents as her price for reportedly not accepting Islam, having been kidnapped on February 19, 2018. She marked her 15th birthday in captivity last May and is now marking another birthday with Boko Haram, despite several promises by both the federal government and the military. A cross-section of Nigerians have continued to criticize the federal government for not doing enough to secure her release.
For a long time. I know government have done their own, we know, but they have, to my own imagination, they haven't done enough because Boko Haram is part of insecurity we have in the land, and it's not urban, it's still growing.
We believe that then, when this administration was coming in, we thought that the civil has come. It's even getting worse because most of the efforts that are supposed to be concentrated on the release of the Chibok girls and the Leah Sharibu and other colleagues, they are not doing enough.
Simple. The government is not doing enough. Just like they have not been doing enough as it concerns the Boko, the Chibok girls and other people that have been kidnapped by Boko Haram. In fact, the government is not doing enough at all.
The pupil was the only Christian girl among the 112 kidnapped from their school, Girls Technical College, Dapchi, Yobe State, by Boko Haram members. Meanwhile, the parents of Leah, Nathan and Rebecca, who spoke in Yola today, made a passionate appeal to both the federal government and those holding their daughter captive for her release. They say they are traumatized and living in agony since she was abducted. From Akure in Ondo State comes a report that the Nigerian government and security agencies have been urged to intensify their efforts towards securing the release of the abducted Dapchi schoolgirl Leah Sharibu, who has now spent over 400 days in captivity. Members of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, and the Southwest made the plea at a gathering to mark the 16th birthday of Leah in Akure, saying that government must do more to secure her release. The Christian faithful are calling on government and security agencies to secure the release of Leah.
But we are of the opinion that they can do more. They can be more aggressive in ensuring that they do all things possible for her release.
I will personally not be part of saying that the federal government is not doing enough. They are doing the best they can. We are dealing with the devil. And it's not only in Nigeria, but across the nations. So the government, we encourage the government to do more. If there's anything possible for them to do, they should do more.
They expressed optimism that Leah will soon be reunited with her family and the Christian community in their country. Leah Sharibu marked her 15th birthday in captivity last May and is marking another in the den of her abductors, despite several promises by the federal government to secure her release. Meanwhile, in Osun State, students of secondary schools joined their counterparts across the country to celebrate Leah Sharibu for standing to be counted in the defense of the Christian faith. The Lagos State government has reaffirmed commitment to strengthening its primary healthcare system with the aim of ensuring quality healthcare delivery in all nooks and crannies in the state. Secretary told the state government, Tunji Bello, gave the assurance while welcoming participants of the Senior Executive Course 41-2019 of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, KURU, who are on a 5-day local study tour in Lagos. Bello said the present administration in the state was working assiduously to ensure that the recently launched health insurance scheme in the state was embraced by all.
Administration in Lagos is irrevocably committed to strengthening primary health care centers towards taking health care delivery to the nooks and crannies of the state. The administration is working assiduously to ensure that recently launched Lagos State Health Scheme, which is compulsory provision of quality and accessible health care to all residents of the state without housing. The various briefings during this study talk will also provide a means for the administration to showcase its various achievements and strides in the health and several other sectors where it has possibly impacted the
Leader of the delegation, Acting Director of Study, Nasiruddin Usman, said the group was in Lagos State to understudy its healthcare system as part of efforts of the federal government to ensure best practices while learning creative ways of funding healthcare delivery system in the country.
This year's theme, which Mr. President has charged Senior Executive Course 41, this is the 41st course since it was established in 1979. So Mr. President has charged members of Senior Executive Course 41 to investigate how best to fund healthcare delivery in Nigeria. And I'm sure we will all agree that this is one of the most serious challenges we face as a
The delegation of Senior Executive Course 41 2019 of the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies, KURU, is expected to visit healthcare institutions of the state government within the 5-day study period in the state. Hundreds of commuters were stranded and at least 4 people were injured in the early hours of today as a commercial bus maneuvering near a fallen fuel tanker burnt beyond recognition, blocking the ever-busy Okeafa-Isolo Bridge in Lagos State. The bus carrying 14 passengers burnt in the early hours of today when it was ascending the bridge connecting Okeafa with Isolo, Okota, and some others in Oshodi, Isolo, LGA. According to eyewitnesses, 4 occupants of the bus, including the driver, were rushed to the Isolo General Hospital for treatment. According to one of them, the bus's exhaust pipe absorbed petrol from potholes into which petrol spilled on Monday evening when a tanker laden with fuel fell at the foot of the bridge. He said that as the bus was ascending the bridge, the exhaust pipe scratched the bridge pavement and ignited fire. A health worker at the Isolo General Hospital, who spoke on condition of anonymity, also confirmed that 4 of the accident victims who were rushed to the hospital were receiving treatment. The police on Tuesday arraigned 6 people in an Ikeja magistrate court in Lagos for allegedly invading a shrine and beating up a traditional chief. The police charged the 6 persons with conspiracy, breach of peace, arming self with dangerous weapons, and threats to life. The accused persons, including a 51-year-old Jelili Atiku, Monsuru Saula, Hassan Nasiru, Mokaila Imakio, Nureni Saila, and a 56-year-old female Jamila Kazi. The prosecutor, Inspector Koti, told the court the defendants, who reside in Ejigbo, Lagos State, committed the offense in April at Moshalashi Street, Ejigbo, Lagos. The police, the accused persons, however, pleaded not guilty to the charges and were admitted to bail in the sum of 100,000 naira each, with 1 shorty each in like sum. The matter has been adjourned until May 20, 2019. And now to Kwara State. The Kwara State Governor-elect Abdurrahman Abdurazak has been dragged before a state high court sitting in Ilorin for alleged certificate forgery. The claimant, Ade Femi, claimed that Abdurazak falsified his senior secondary school certificate purportedly obtained in 1976. When the case was mentioned today, the defense counsel were yet to file their statement of defense, though they filed a memorandum of appearance. Counsel to the claimant, Oludeleola, said the governor-elect gave false information about the result deposed to in an affidavit he submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to contest Kwara State governorship election. Counsel to the governor-elect, Lawal Jimoh, said his client attended Government College, Kaduna, and has a West African school certificate examination result from the school. Justice Akinpelu said the defense was still within the time frame to file a statement to defend and thereafter adjourn the case to 10th of June.
The issue borders on the falsification of results. On the face of the writ of summons filed in the court, there are two declarative reliefs. Number one, that the defendant, that is the newly elected governor, has given false information about his result, and that's what he deposed to in an affidavit submitted to the High Neck. And then we are also asking for an order that he is not the qualified candidate for the election.
Yes, if we are not ready, we won't appear in the matter. Immediately we were served on second, we filed our appearance the following day.
So are you saying your client did not present fake?
No, not at all. My client attended Government College, Kaduna, and of course, he wrote his WAEC in 1976. The records are there, they are clear.
Do you have the facts?
We have all the facts.
Are you sure?
Very, very sure.